the immediate large opportunity does not only sit in transformers, but also sits on the smart metering side.
Absolutely.
And that's why we are bringing in Genius Power today to try and talk about that. 1 crore meters being set up, and thereafter the O&M, and the kind of growth that we're seeing here and the visibility of growth is extremely strong over the next 8-10 years. The order books are completely full. FY26 will be a positive year where operating cash flow is concerned, is what they've said. FY27 is when the real unwind in a large fashion will start. And what they're also saying is there's going to be a tilt towards O&M, which is on the maintenance side of things. Current capacity is at around 1.1 crore odd. The guidance seems to suggest that by FY27, the smart metering in terms of units will be at 1.1 to 1.2 crore. So which will be sizably larger than even the guidance for FY26. So growth here is going to be extremely strong. The order book is at 30,000 crore. I did speak about that. I want to understand product versus O&M. What's the split going to be like as the growth continues to kick through here? Because the visibility is clear. Now let me also talk a little bit about the new opportunities. There's gas, there's water. Again, both of those are on the metering side of things, and those opportunities are also fairly large. Opportunities in the export space. I would be keen to know whether they are seeing that or they're only looking domestically. And the last piece is, can margins scale up, and what's the capex like? Because obviously with such strong growth, how are they planning all of that? It's the order book size is 30,000 crore, and the top line is just at 2,400 crore. The guidance for FY26 is 4,000 crore plus. Now, even with that, the kind of visibility of growth and demand is extremely strong.
The kind of growth that the company has showcased in this last 3 years period, if we see. Now revenue, CAGR, if you're just looking at 53% is what we are seeing, but EBITDA even more impressive at around 99%. And this is with margins escalating from 11% to 19% or odd. So the company now planning to maintain its margin at the levels of 18% or odd. So that's the sustainable range that it looks forward to. Net profit also we've seen about about 120% of a growth in this 3 years. And this is essentially a part of the order book that we are looking at just from FY22 to FY25. If we see the shift in terms of order book, what was a 1,080 crore earlier with about 2 times of a book-to-bill ratio has now significantly increased to about 12 times of a multiple that we are looking at. This is with almost a 30,000 crore order book that we've seen at the end of FY25. The main pickup that we've seen is from FY23 to FY24 from 4,000 crore to 21,000 crore. Just want to understand a bit more on this in detail as to what has led to the significant uptick in terms of order book. Is it with the GIC partnership that we are looking at, which has driven this orders, whether it's with the opportunities and the scale that we've seen in the last 2 years, but very interesting piece nonetheless to look at. In terms of key operational metrics also, if we see the company sold about 9.44 million of meters in FY25. This is in comparison with about 4 million meters that it did sell in FY22. Even the cumulative meters installed has now increased to 99.5 million as compared to 81 million in FY24. And annual production capacity in FY25 reaching to the scale of 1.6 crore meters in comparison with about 1 crore which it had maintained in the last 3 fiscal years. So, Harsh, just to start off, very strong numbers that we are looking at in terms of income statement as well as the order book also. And the execution part of it would remain exciting for the business.
Well, yes, absolutely. But do they have the balance sheet to execute that? So let's pull up the balance sheet and get a better perspective. You're starting to see an inch up when it comes to 2-3 pieces in the balance sheet. The book value is currently standing at around 1,900 crore. That's trading at around 5 times book, by the way. So something to keep in mind. Sir, let me start off with that crucial question on cash flow. I do understand that you were listening to us for the last few minutes. Talk to us about how quickly can it unwind and what will be that year in which we'll start to see that unwind happen?
So, hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Everyone. Just to give you a heads up on the business, that will give you a good idea why this cash flow is concerning everyone, which doesn't concern me at all. So this business is this is a smart metering business, which is a AMISP work, what we are doing currently. In AMISP, the arrangement what we have done with GIC, the platform what we have created, the Gemstar platform, is going to fund all these projects. How they initially, all the investment is to be done by the listed company, Genus Power, because the complete back-to-back all work is done by us. So initially when the project is started, we have to supply the meter, then we have to integrate the software with the billing system of the utility, and then the operation go live is received by the company. Only after that, you start receiving the payment from the utility, which in turn we get the complete capex payment from the Gemstar platform. This is the arrangement we have done. So since all the projects have started in last 12 to 18 months, you will see a lot of these projects are achieving operation go live. Few have achieved last month, a lot of them will achieve in next few months. So by the end of this financial year, we are more than confident we will be positive in the cash flow, and all these data, what you are seeing, all this investment in the inventory, what you are seeing, which is very high right now. In terms of numbers, it will go up, but in terms of percentage, you will see them going down significantly.
Sir, talk to us about the split as well. So on the 30,000 crore order book that you have, 29,000 crore odd, what's the split between O&M and what's the split between product? Because O&M will probably stretch over a decade or so. Is that the right way to think of it?
Yes, 7 to 8 years.
Yes. And what's the split like, sir, on the 30,000 crore order book? How much is O&M and how much is product?
So just to give you an idea, so Genus is the only metering solution company which is also doing its own AMISP. We not only do our own projects, we also supply meters to almost all the leading AMISP in the country, and also we are the largest suppliers to all the utilities. It's not that the utilities have stopped buying meters. So to give you a clear idea of the breakup of this order, let's take a ballpark figure that Genus has an order book of 29,000 crores. Out of this 29,000 crores, 2,000 crores are supply orders, which we are supplying material to our AMISP partners, to our utilities. Export orders, all put together is around 2,000 crores. Remaining 27,000 crores is the AMISP business, which we get from the platform. So 27,000 crore order book is received by Genus. Then we transfer this order book to the platform created by Genus and GIC. And from the platform, 80% of that value comes back to the Genus as a EPC. So 27,000 crores is the order book that goes to the platform. From out of this 27,000 crores, 80% revenue comes to Genus Power, the listed company. And out of this 80%, 55 to 60% is supply and installation, which will happen in next 2 to 3 years, and remaining 40% is O&M, which will happen for 7 to 8 years. So this will give you a very fair idea how the revenue of Genus is going to look like in next 6 to 7 years.
So just a couple of questions from my side on the order book. Now, we are looking at a 12 times of a multiple, which was not the case scenario a couple of years back. We've seen a significant uptick in terms of order book, and this is essentially a play that we've started seeing from FY24 onwards. Just want to understand the kind of shift that has happened from FY23 to 24. And with the current bid opportunity also, the 27,000, almost a 27,000 crore of opportunity, want to understand from this, what is the kind of market share that you aim to have in terms of new orders for the business going forward? I believe the Tamil Nadu order is also due, which has about 3 crore meters installation plan as well. So just want to understand this aspect as well.
Just to give you a heads up on the industry, that almost 23 crore meters were sanctioned by the government of India under the RDSS scheme. Out of this 23 crore meters, 14 crore has already been ordered. So out of this 14 crore, 3.5 crore has been received by Genus. So you can say around a market share of 20-25%. So we are one of the largest in the industry. And further, on the new orders coming, there are 3 large projects, apart from some smaller projects also being quoted by Genus, but 3 large projects which are quoted by Genus is, one is Tamil Nadu, which you said around 3 crore meters, one is BRPL Delhi, which is around 30 lakh meters, and one is BYPL Delhi, which is around 25 lakh meters. So in total, if we talk of 3 large bids which we have quoted in last couple of months, has been around almost 3.5 crore meters. And if you take a ballpark figure of, let's say, 10,000 rupees per point, so it is around 35,000 crores of tenders which are quoted by Genus, and we expect them to get decided in next 2 to 3 months. So And it is very difficult to put a number that how much Genus will win. Genus always bids to win. We have been maintaining our leadership position from last 20 years in the metering industry, and we are confident that we should be able to maintain that.
Understood, understood. Okay, sir. Thank you so much for coming in and speaking with us. This is great. And it's very good perspective that we get. Completely out of time on this edition of KYC. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us. That's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in to KYC only on NDTV Profit for your profit.